He was with me, begging forgiveness, telling me to take a moment, and he would see it, and we were meant to be together.
Being in the hospital didn't stop the Queen of Shade from doing what she does best, and it's especially better now since it has to do with her own cheating ex-husband. Wendy Williams recently called out her ex-husband's mistress Sharina Hudson after what she did to Kevin Hunter. The tea is boiling hot, and you're never going to believe how good everything worked out for Wendy in the end, and you bet she's making sure Kevin and Sharina know just how happy she is about it all. But before we talk about that, make sure to subscribe to the Celebrity Circle channel to stay updated with future drama.
You know, Kevin's problem is that Kevin ended up getting with this girl. She made herself very available to him. She was very disrespectful to me.
Now, some of you might be keeping up with the drama of Wendy Williams' marriage, but for those of you who haven't, take a seat and grab some popcorn because it is going to be one hell of a ride. Wendy was happily married to Kevin Hunter for over 20 years, and they were doing pretty good. Kevin was Wendy's producer, and Wendy was the star of the show, making a lot more money than Kevin could even dream of. But their marriage suffered a blow back in 2000 when Sharina Hudson entered the chat. Sharina was a young, full of life, beautiful girl who came to Hollywood with her eyes full of dreams.
He was one of these, less than smart women who moved to the big city with bright lights.
And luckily, she met just the guy who was going to help her get there, and it was none other than Kevin Hunter. Kevin was going to get everything he wanted: a young, beautiful girl in a shiny dress and a change from his boring married life routine. And Sharina, well, she was getting a lot more than just a change of routine. Kevin made sure to let everyone know that he was the man in the relationship. After being with Wendy, who was always the main focus of the relationship, he did everything in his power to be the dominant breadwinner in his affair with Sharina. He bought her everything from expensive cars to fancy designer dresses and bags. The girl was living her best life along with her sugar daddy, Kevin Hunter.
And I'm like, but I'm still in love. I don't know what to do. Like, are you serious with this?
There was one issue though, and that was the fact that all that money that Kevin was throwing at his side piece was never really his. It was Wendy's money that Kevin was using to live a double life. Now that's messed up. But before we tell you more about that, make sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with a friend who'd find this interesting. So where was Wendy in all of this? The woman who knows the tea about every celebrity? There was no way she didn't know about her own husband cheating, right? Well, you're right, she knew all about her husband's little affair with the woman. But that raises the question, why didn't she do anything about it?
I've known about her almost since the beginning.
You see, Wendy is a wise woman, and she wasn't going to throw away her reputation and her marriage over just an affair, especially since she believed Kevin to be the only man of her dreams. So she let him have his little fun because she, being a good judge of character, knew that Sharina was only after Kevin for his money. And soon enough, she was going to find someone with deeper pockets and leave Kevin. So she decided not to ruin her marriage and thought time would take care of her problem itself. She had one rule with Kevin about the affair, and that rule was that no matter what happens, he cannot have a child with anyone outside of their marriage. And you guys already can guess what happens next.
It took me 20 years to divorce him because every year of my professional life got better.
Despite Wendy letting her husband get away with the affair and only imposing one rule to keep their marriage going, Kevin was having way too much fun to listen to her, and he decided to impregnate Sharina Hudson. The worst part of it all was the fact that Wendy had to find out about this through the tabloids instead of hearing about it from her husband, who she trusted even after she caught him cheating. But this was the final straw for the star, and she decided that she was not going to give Kevin another chance. So she decided to file for divorce. Kevin was perfectly fine with this because he thought that he'd found the love of his life as Sharina. Wendy agreed to pay alimony, but on one condition. The condition was that she was going to keep paying the money, but only as long as her show was airing.
And I read about it in the blogs and the tabloids, the address of this place that he had purchased.
Wendy knew exactly what she was doing, but Kevin was too busy with Sharina to see what was coming next. Kevin and Sharina enjoyed a few days and had the time of their lives with each other. Kevin even invested in several of Sharina's businesses, all of which failed miserably. But a few failed businesses were the least of their problems. Wendy fired Kevin soon after the divorce, and he got off of her payroll. but he was doing just fine because he still had that sweet alimony money coming in. Not for too long though, because as we all know, Wendy's health got bad and she had to be hospitalized, which put an end to her show. This obviously was bad news to Wendy, but she had other places paying her for other things as well, so she wasn't too worried. The person who was worried because of Wendy's show getting canceled was Kevin Hunter. Why? Well, because now Wendy wasn't obligated to pay him alimony anymore. This meant that Kevin couldn't afford his mistress's fancy lifestyle anymore, and everything started crumbling for the two. Fans of Wendy knew this was going to happen and were waiting to see what came next in this saga. All eyes were on Sharina as people waited for her to dump her sugar daddy and move on to the next big fish, but nothing of the sort happened. At first, at least, Sharina knew that if she did that, Wendy would be quick to capitalize off of the whole thing. Sharina previously accused Wendy of capitalizing off of her divorce after it got turned into a Netflix documentary. But as time went by, it got harder and harder for Sharina to stay with her broke beau. Kevin even publicly stated that his financial state was pretty bad, and it got to the point where he was struggling to pay bills. As soon as news broke out that Wendy was in the hospital, Sharina took the opportunity to make the run and dumped Kevin as soon as she could. But she was wrong when she thought that Wendy wasn't going to talk about the whole thing. According to an insider source, Wendy knew this was going to happen and was pretty happy about it. According to her, it's the best example of karma. Kevin betrayed her and now he got betrayed too. She called Sharina a gold digger and warned everyone else to stay away from her, calling her a homewrecker. And that was all we had for you in today's video. What are your feelings about this whole thing? Do you think Kevin deserved it all and that it was karma? Let us know all about it down in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe to our channel for more future videos. With all that said, as always, we'll see you in our next video.